Welcome, everybody. John Zager. How are you all doing? I did a podcast earlier this morning, and kind of the starting it was kind of around heart, brain, centered coherence, meditation. And I said I would follow that up with another podcast, maybe a brief podcast on meditation just itself. And I thought I would go ahead and do that right now this afternoon. I had a little bit of extra time, and then we'll do a little something different tomorrow morning. But meditation, lots of fun. Once you start doing meditation, you'll want to do it over and over again. And you want to do it every day, and you want to do it once a day, twice a day, several times a day if you can. The length of time doesn't matter. They have meditations out there that go from, 3-4 minutes all the way up to an hour and a half, I suppose. It's whatever length of time you want it to be based on what you're trying to get accomplished. Don't overcomplicate it with the time thing. Meditation is just whatever length of time you want it to be. So if they're short, they could be several times throughout the day. Meditations can be sitting, traditionally, lying down, standing up, walking. There's all kinds of different manners that you can do meditation. So meditation is basically, you have your conscious brain, which we use about 5% of the time. And then you have your analytic brain, which is kind of that chatter that you hear going on all the time in your head. And then you have your subconscious. And your subconscious is all the programs, all the information that were uploaded to you as a child, that when you run into situations and pressures and obstacles and whatever it happens to be in your adult life, you pull from those. They're not even yours. They belong to somebody else. So meditation is trying to get from your creative side over the analytic brain to your subconscious so that you can start doing some changes in there, make some refinements, and have it become more creative. In other words, what you're looking for is not from someone from the past, but from your perspective, beliefs, and perceptions today of how things need to be. So meditation is, in a sense, you're trying to clear your brain. Two thoughts. We have 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, right? Most of those thoughts are the same as the day before that, the week before that, the month before that, the year before that. They're all stuff that just gets repeated, and it's not even your own stuff. Each minute, our brain can change or have up to 6 or 7 different thoughts within that minute. So there's a lot of stuff going on, yeah? Okay? And what we're trying to do is quail or quiet the brain and try to reduce some of those, the loose chatter and the thoughts, and eliminate them as much as we can. The way that we can do that is, so when we sit down, let's just take the sitting meditation as an example. So you're going to sit down in an upright chair, not an uncomfortable, but an upright chair. Nothing that you would be slouching in, making sure that your spine, your backbone is relatively straight, and that your arms are resting on the arms of the chair, for instance, or on your legs. Doesn't really matter, just so long as they're comfortable and you're sitting in an upright position. And where you begin at is through a series of breathing. There's, oh gosh darn, you go on YouTube and there's people everywhere telling you how to meditate and how to breathe. Excuse me. I think, for me, I keep it real simple. You breathe in to the count of 4 through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And then you hold that for the count of 7. And when you're breathing in, you're breathing that air into your stomach. So your stomach is rising, not your chest. Pretty simple. And then you hold it there for the count of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then when you go to blow out through your mouth, you put your tongue on top, on your upper teeth behind them, and you blow out to the count of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's one breath. Inhale, exhale. Make sense? So in through your nose to the count of 4, hold it in your stomach to the count of 7, and then breathe out through your mouth with your tongue on the back of your upper teeth to the count of 8. Very, very simple. I do it 3 times. I don't know. Some people might do it a couple. Some people might do it 4 times. I don't know what the magic number is. What I do know is it lowers your blood pressure too, which is really kind of cool. It's kind of an added benefit. I don't know. Maybe it was designed to do that in the first place. I just kind of picked it up and used it as a way to breathe early on in doing my meditation. Okay, so once you do that and you get relaxed, then what I do second, and this is very, very simple, is all I'm trying to do is focus on my breathing. That's it. And I'm trying to get my breathing as quiet as I can. If I can slightly feel my heart, and I can't, but maybe you can, pumping or something, you want to quiet your heart down. You want to quiet your breathing down. Heart rate. So what I try to do, I'm not quite sure I can do it, but normal heart rate for me, I don't know, might be 65 to 70, 72, somewhere in there. And I'm consciously trying to quiet my heart and my breathing so that my heart rate will drop down to 40. I don't think I ever got to 40. I might have gotten to 50 somewhere, but I'm pretty good at quieting it down. Okay? So that's the beginning part. How long that takes you, we're not concerned with. Again, we're not in linear time. Linear time has to do with a start and a finish. We're in the quantum field, quantum physics. There is no time. All there is the present. Stay present. Eternal now kind of idea. So again, as you're doing your meditation, we're not thinking in terms of time. All right? So however long it takes you to get through your meditation, that's how long it takes. Next part. And I'm gonna tell you an old way and a new way. The old way, years ago when I was in clinical psychology, and we called it relaxation or or self-hypnosis. But what you would do is you would go through each body part. Your hand, your forearm, your biceps, your shoulders, then the other arm, and you'd work your way into your legs, your left leg, your right leg, your foot, your calf, your thigh, and and you're going through just all the various parts of your body. And what you're doing is you're tensing the muscle, that specific muscle, and then relaxing it. And then you tense that specific muscle group, and then you relax it. I used to do it 3 times. And that's kind of just getting you to a brain wave where you can start doing your meditation, right? So alpha and theta, delta is sleep, right? And what we're trying to do is get your brain waves to slow down enough that you hit that alpha stage. And better yet, the theta, which is even slower brain waves. So now you're dealing with the internal, what's going on inside of you, and you're not really aware of or concerned because your eyes are closed, of course, and you're kind of in a semi-slumber state, and you're processing what's going on inside of you rather than looking at the world and maybe the wind and the clouds and the trees and the cars and the noise and all the clutter that's going on outside. Pretty hard to do meditation when you're in that state. So that's how we used to take people into the alpha and hopefully the theta state. And we used to call it relaxation, sometimes meditation, sometimes self-hypnosis. It kind of just ran over there quite a bit. And this is 20, 30 years ago. But it's the same principle, right? And so today, that's the old, and I said I'd give you the new. When I was working on, I used to have high blood pressure. And I was working a program by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Brilliant, brilliant man. Just go to YouTube, listen to every single lecture and presentation, interview, workshop, seminar that he's ever done, and you'll just marvel at this man's intelligence. But I was using his program for myself. Never had the money to actually go to any of his workshops. Wish I did. Tried going to 3 of them, through scholarships that they offer, but they never accepted me, even though I have no money and had extremely high blood pressure that was uncontrolled. They must not have thought that was a severe enough disease, I guess, to justify, the scholarship. Doesn't matter. I just persevered and kept using his program and doing whatever I could by learning whatever I could, wherever I could, about his stuff, and then applying it to myself. So I'm okay with all that. Maybe in the future, who knows, they'll gift me with an opportunity to go to one of his workshops. Maybe, maybe not. So the new way is I'm working on my blood pressure part, right? So once I get past the breathing and once I get my heart rate down and I'm quieted down and I'm not having the chatter, I'm not having constant, 6 or 7 thoughts every minute, then what I would do is I would start with my left arm. And I would say, again, I'm working on blood pressure, right? So the blood's flowing into my left arm. It's going in very well. It's getting to all of the tissue, all of the tendons. It's getting to all the joints. It's getting into my skin. I'd go through the whole process of It's flowing in effortlessly. It's coming back out. I can feel my arm being warm. There feels to be no obstructions anywhere in the arteries or the veins going in and out of my left arm. But I would precisely spend 10 minutes, I don't know, maybe longer for all I know, on each arm, making sure that I had really good blood flow. And then I do my right arm, then I do my left leg, then I do my right leg. Then I would do each individual organ. I would do my heart, I'd do my lungs, intestines, upper, lower, kidneys, brain, neck. You understand. So I would do every single part of my body, making sure that the blood was flowing in and out in an unobstructed way, and there were no constrictions anywhere that would cause my blood pressure to go up. And then I would even visualize arteries and veins in my body where there could possibly be a constriction based on the cortisol, right? Stress hormone. When you shoot off cortisol or your stress hormone, living in a life of stress, 70% of us do, all that kind of stuff. All that does is constrict the blood flow and causes high blood pressure. All right. So I would visualize a constriction somewhere in my vein or artery, and I would isolate it. I would just pick one out. I would pick a spot out, and I would visually, in meditation, see myself having a little instrument in my fingertip that I could ease through the vein or the artery that was hardened, that is now supple, and I could push the obstruction through and open it up. I don't know, I'd probably take, probably in the beginning it used to take me a couple hours, and I have no idea, because I lost track of time. And towards the end, as things got better, I'm sure I was doing it under an hour. And when I would get all of that done, because that's what I was working on, I would be giving up. This is another part of the meditation that happens in most all meditations I do. I give up all the negative thinking and thoughts that enter my brain that cause the stress and the cortisol and the high blood pressure, and that's what I was working on at the time. And I'd turn them over to a higher power, a greater intelligence, a creator, the universe, whatever you choose to call that. And then I would just feel the gratitude that I have for healing. I could feel the healing. It's almost like all of the unhealthy genes and cells and stuff just get downloaded. They just get dumped. They just get washed. And all you can feel is your immune system building up and getting stronger, and you're uploading healthy genes and cells so that you don't have high blood pressure. So it's like downloading the negative and uploading the positive, getting rid of the stress hormones, uploading all of the healthy hormones, giving thanks and having gratitude for that process happening, blessing yourself and blessing all the parts of your body that are being healed at this very moment. It's not something that's going to happen. It's something that's happening. And then, of course, asking the creator of the universe for a sign that what you're doing is correct, and so that you stay on track with your meditations. And there's a bit more to it than that, but that's kind of a brief, I guess, thumbnail of how I would do some of my meditations early on. Best time to do meditations. So, early in the morning and late at night, right? Melatonin and serotonin. When you go to bed at night, your melatonin is increasing, and it gets the highest. I don't know. Everybody's got a different time, but I don't know. I think between 1 and 4, somewhere in there, it's pretty high. So if you could wake yourself up, I don't know, 3:30 to 4:30, somewhere in there, and do your meditation, it's going to have the greatest effect of keeping you right in theta, alpha, and theta, and maybe even a touch of delta. I'm not sure. And then that's in the morning, and then at night, of course, you want to do it just before you go to sleep at night. So early in the morning and late at night seem to keep you in the brave brain wave that you need to be in order to get into your subconscious and start, moving some things around and having some changes. And it's sort of the self-healing time right in there. And there's all kinds of different feelings that you'll experience and things, but we could talk about the details of that stuff later. But for the most part, and then during the day, if you want to pick out a time during the day, you have a little bit of time where you can do another meditation, go right ahead and do it. Dr. Joe Dispenza has, marvelous guided meditations for you. If you could buy his online courses, he's got a couple of them, but he's got all these meditations that are available. I don't know what he charges, $14 a meditation or something. I don't have any. I've not put any together for people to buy or anything, but you can certainly go to his place and start using some of his stuff as you get more knowledgeable about the program that he's using. So meditation is just an overwhelmingly healthy thing to do. It increases all the health hormones. Your immune system just becomes incredibly strong. It is a way. It is the doorway into self-healing based on your belief system. And it's a place where you can change some beliefs and some perceptions that may not, as they say, be loving to you. So I don't know. I haven't even looked. Have we gone over a minute or something? I guess we probably have. So there you go. I hope that was kind of helpful. We'll continue working off of that, maybe for a day or two. And I hope you have a good rest of the day. Take care of one another. God bless you, and we'll talk to you in the morning.